this to the Premier. In the 12 months since your Wynne-Horwath Liberal NDP coalition came to power, Ontario has lost an additional 30,000 vital manufacturing jobs. Dozens of plants across our province have announced layoffs or outright closure since your Liberal coronation. Premier, southwestern Ontario has been especially hard hit, with recent plant closing announced at Invacare, London, that was 70 jobs. Heinz Leamington, 740 jobs. Kellogg's London, 500 jobs. Worthington Cylinders Tilbury, 100 jobs. Westcast Industries Strathroy, 40 jobs. Imperial Oil Lubricants Sarnia, 60 jobs. Ethel Corporation Corunna, 30 jobs. Premier, why are so many factories closing under your watch?
Economic Development, Trade and Employment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, and I know the member opposite has his list, so I'll go through my list, and I'll start in Dunnville with Original Foods. And I was actually at the opening of that new company where they moved here from Quebec, 150 jobs created just last fall. Armo Tool in London, which I know, just outside of London, I know the member opposite knows well. It was our first recipient of the Southwestern Ontario Development Fund, 14 jobs. Armstrong Milling in Hagersville, 10 jobs. The Centerline in Windsor, 31 jobs. Conestoga Meats outside of Kitchener and Breslau, 100 jobs there, Mr. Speaker. Desh Canada, 10 jobs. Jeru's Manufacturing, another 12. Elmira Pet Products in Elmira, 146 jobs protected and many more created, Mr. Speaker. And the list goes on and on, from Tillsonburg to Cambridge, Wallaceburg, Guelph, St. Catharines. It's unfortunate that the party opposite did not support us in creating a permanent fund for southwestern Ontario to create those exact manufacturing jobs that the member opposite seems to be so concerned about.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, thank you, Speaker. Back to the Premier. Premier, on January 22nd, I wrote to you about the closure of Westcast in Strathroy. The reason for this closure is due to the high price of electricity, coupled with Ontario's outdated labour policies and outdated apprenticeship ratios. In fact, Westcast CEO wrote to me on January 7th and said, and I quote, "If electricity rates do not become more affordable, Ontario risks losing important investments from companies like Westcast." Premier, your careless approach has helped push Ontario's manufacturing sector into crisis. 30,000 manufacturing jobs have been lost since you've become Premier of this province. Only Tim Hudak and the Ontario PCs have put forward a jobs plan to help the thousands of people who are unemployed in Ontario today. Premier, I ask again, how come so many manufacturing plants are closing under your watch, and why are you and NDP leader Andrew Horwath so determined to lead the race to the bottom?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it's pretty rich coming from this party opposite that really hasn't supported any of our jobs plans or efforts over the past few years. If they had their way, Mr. Speaker, back when the province supported the auto industry in 2009, which they did not support, we wouldn't even have an auto industry. It would have left to the United States or to Mexico. Fortunately, we've created 12,500 new jobs in the auto sector alone, Mr. Speaker, and they're not even listening to their own party in Ottawa when Jim Flaherty just a few weeks ago talked about the manufacturing sector in this province and said it was bouncing back, Mr. Speaker. And also we have RBC that came out with a report in December which indicated that they see significant recovery in the manufacturing sector in the 2 years ahead. It's going to help drive the recovery. Of course, with the Canadian dollar coming down, that's going to help as well. So we're making great strides. I don't know why the member opposite and his party continues to talk down this economy, the hard-working Ontario workers that are working in the manufacturing sector, and the 700,000 people that I'm very proud of that contribute to manufacturing in this province, Mr. Speaker.
Any question? Leader of the third party.